everyone, it's Ileana and I wanted to show you how I make my ink pad swatches. I'll be using the Simon Says stamp Plaid Builder, and I have the second to the largest stamp mounted in my MISTI. I have it 3/4 of an inch from the edge, and I made sure that it was lined up. I have some Gina K heavy cardstock that I've cut down to 2 inches by 4 1/8. Now I'm lining it up at the 3-inch mark on my MISTI. I did remove the foam insert because I am using a cling mount stamp. I'll be showing you how to do the Distress Oxide swatch just because it has all of the different swatches that I make for it. So I've inked up the stamp and I'm stamping it one time. Now I'm rotating it, lining it up again, and I'm going to stamp it another time. What I've tried to do is to create a swatch where I know a single stamp versus a double stamp. So I've picked out which one I want to stamp again, and I'm going to re-ink it and double stamp it. That way I know what the actual color is if I double stamp. Once that's done, I'm going to set it aside so it'll dry a little bit, and then I'll do a 2x2 swatch. This one is using Gina K layering because it's much thinner and it's going to go into one of those little coin pockets. It doesn't need to be the thick. I liked the thick one for the ring swatch just because it's going to get used more. I found this tag maker punch, and I'll be sure to link it below just so that I'm able to put it on a ring. Now when I cut down my cardstock to make my swatches, there are leftover pieces, so I'm going to use those. So I have this small piece that's about 1 inch wide, and I'm going to go ahead and use my ink blender, and I'm just going to add color to it. I'm using my sticky mat with the protective film on top of it. I just left it on there, that way I could just wipe everything off. So I'm trying to ink up most of this piece of cardstock, and what I'll do is I will trim it down to the pieces that I need. Now I wanted to take some time and show you this wipe container that I purchased from Amazon. It is from OXO and it has a push top. It does have like this weight that you put in there so that when you pull out your wipe, it holds the other ones in place. So you're not pulling out like 3 wipes at one time and having it to shove back into the container. Now I'm going to take my little piece and I'm going to trim it down to 2 inches. And I did forget to put adhesive on the back of this, so you'll see me add some in a little bit. I just took some double-sided adhesive. It's half an inch wide, so I'm just going to add it to one side. I only need to add to part of it because I'm just going to trim it down. And so I'm just going to use my trimmer and cut 2 pieces that are 1/4 inch wide. And then those will go on the edge of my Distress Oxide pad. Now I have these small 1-inch stickers. They're clear, that I purchased on Amazon, and I'm going to add it to my cardstock. That way it'll protect the blending and it won't get mucky if my hands are wet, or if it touches a different color, it won't get ruined. I'm using my label maker to make the labels, and I did make these little stickers on it so I know what size each one of the fonts are, but I do have it set to auto. And here I made a mistake and I didn't center it, so I'm going through and I'm centering the label. I did purchase the generic brand on Amazon, so these are much less expensive than the name brand. I did have to pull it out because it did get a misfeed and it was just easy to fix. So I just used the 1/2 inch label. I believe it's 12 millimeter. And now I'm just adjusting it to make my other labels. I'm going to use this clear one that has white lettering. That way you could see the letters on my swatches. this size is the 6mm. So I'll make 2, and you can make them so that you don't have as much waste, but I don't mind having the extra because it will keep it in place a little bit better. So I'm just going to center it on the little strips, on the 1/4-inch strips, and I'm going to go ahead and brayer it down because you can see the color a lot better if you brayer that sticker down. Now I'm just going to add it to my Distress Oxide. Now you'll notice on my Distress Oxide there is an R on the back of it, and that signifies that I have a re-inker for it. That way I know if I have one or not. Now I'm just going to line up the other tag, the other sticker on the tag, and I'll do the same thing on my smaller swatch. So you can make either one. You don't necessarily have to do both. I like having both since I'm already doing one. I might as well just do the other one, and then I could either keep a book or I could keep it in a ring. Now if you leave your label maker on auto and you hit the return button on the 6mm label, you'll be able to stack it. You'll be able to stack the name if it's a long name, and you'll be able to use this one for your blender brush. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a little bit. So I did forget to add the tape, so I am adding 2 pieces of tape because I'm going to use a 3/4 inch punch to cut this out. So I'm just going to center it, and then I'll be able to punch it through. It is a little bit tougher than if you just use regular cardstock because you have the layer of the sticker and then you have the layer of the label on top. And now I'm able to put a swatch on top of my blending brush. Then that way I know what color this brush is for. So now you know how I make my ink swatches, and you can see how beautiful this looks on the ring. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Bye.